Welcome everybody to Doug
Og.
Talk Sports. We are back. It has been a hot minute. The
We
last
are back.
we
So
are
back.
the last episode, believe it or not, was May 31st for people keeping track. So it has been almost 2 months since our last appearance here on the lovely interwebs. The last episode, we touched on the aftermath of the 2025 NFL draft. Since then, we've had the NBA draft, the NBA finals. Baseball's coming up to the All-Star break. OTAs, mini camp, all that is over for football. Next up is training camp. So we're going to talk about a little bit of stuff here today. To start things off, the NBA season ended. The Knicks unfortunately did lose to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Uh, um, the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA title in Game 7. Halliburton tore his Achilles in that game, and
The
um,
only reason.
yeah, we'll be out all of next year, which caused Miles Turner to leave and go to Milwaukee. So Miles Turner and Giannis Antetokounmpo teaming up for one of the better front courts in basketball down there in Milwaukee. They did waive Damian Lillard in order to make the move happen, and Giannis said today that he'll probably stay. So no need for any kind of crazy trade theories for him. LeBron James may leave the Lakers. He's not very happy with how the Lakers handled the Luka Doncic trade, apparently.
Cry me a
Yeah,
river.
yeah, I
But you
don't
know
get it.
what? You know what? Good. When LeBron goes bye-bye, Jokic is going to be in gold.
I think what's going to happen is LeBron is either going to be traded to the Golden State Warriors or he's going to be traded to the New York Knicks. I think because he opted into his player option so that he can be traded. I think he will be a 1 year rental for whoever is trying to win. And he's always wanted to play with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's looking for one last ring, and so is LeBron. So I could see that happening. And I could see the Knicks just going for broke and getting LeBron James to New York finally after whiffing on him back in 2010 or 11.
Ah,
Um, because they showed the Sopranos Sopranos bullshit that just did not work. Um, so
that circus. Can we just that's I wish Dano was on this pod right now to talk about LeBron in the blue and the orange because I've I'm gonna go with that. Dano would not be a fan of that
no, I wouldn't necessarily be a fan of that either. It seems, I mean, I don't know how you're unhappy about your team adding Luka Doncic pretty much for free.
because Luka Doncic overshadows LeBron. He's the better player.
Yeah,
LeBron's in the twilight of his career, and he has always had a problem being outshined or not being the centerpiece of the team. Look at when Kyrie in Cleveland, that whole blow up. Like it's same thing with um, Anthony Davis. There's definitely more to Anthony Davis getting shipped out of Los Angeles.
yeah, I mean, because Anthony Davis, when healthy at this point, is better than LeBron. So, I mean, LeBron's going to be 41 years old this year, like, and he's still a really good player.
And yeah, shout out. All right, let's LeBron. He gets his flowers, and you know what? He's for this conversation's sake, he's one of the greatest players in NBA history.
He is the
And
second greatest player ever. I don't think it's really up for, I mean, basketball is always up for debate.
yeah,
I think he's absolutely the second greatest player ever.
in whatever circle he's one or two.
Yeah, he's one or two in everybody's circle. So
And kudos to that. But also, I big Batman fan. I know Ray is. You follow Batman, but it just I love the saying. I mean, it's you live long enough to you're the hero, but then you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's the arc that LeBron James has reached.
pretty much. Because if he were to get traded to the Golden State Warriors or the New York Knicks, but again, if he went to either of those teams, he would not be the face of that team. He would not be the best player. Like he would not like Jalen Brunson is New York. Like the Knicks are Jalen Brunson. The Warriors are still Steph Curry. Like I think them being I don't even know how LeBron and Draymond would clash on
Oh my God!
for
Do you think Draymond gets traded for LeBron?
mm,
What does a trade look like?
because the salary is so huge, it really wouldn't be for a lot. I think they would give up a couple of picks and maybe like swap players to match the salaries.
Yeah,
When your contract is that high for a 41-year-old who is still a borderline all-star at this point, um, I think the Golden State Warriors have more firepower to do it than the Knicks. The Knicks don't have too many trade assets anymore right now after giving up almost all of them for Mikal Bridges. So I see it happening with the Warriors more so than the Knicks, and I don't think a lot of the Knicks fan base would want LeBron James at this point anyway.
what about Dallas?
I could see Dallas happening if it's not a trade, because who do you trade to send back to LA
I
again?
mean, Gafford's probably got. I mean, yeah, salary wise, you're SOL. You're not really.
Yeah. So, he opted in so that he can be traded, or they could buy him out and they could stretch out the money and then he could sign somewhere for the vet minimum. That's the only way that it would really work with Dallas. 'Cause especially since Kyrie pretty much is going to be out all of this year. So,
Kyrie's out. They picked up D'Lo.
yeah, so D'Lo's going to be the new point guard for the time being. If LeBron wants to go to Dallas, he would have to at least try to be there for 2 years when Kyrie comes back healthy. Like even though they somehow got Cooper Flag and the not rigged and the not completely rigged NBA draft
Not rigged.
lottery.
Not rigged. I got to
Um,
work on my Cooper Flag Mavs jersey, but
yes. So
I
that team
it's
is already pretty good. So
listen on paper if that team stayed healthy because after they traded Luca, AD got hurt, right?
yeah.
And then Gafford was hurt. Lively was hurt. All three bigs were down. And then Kyrie goes down. So you didn't really, I mean, as much as, don't get me wrong, the Luca trade made 0 sense and it was terrible on all levels of sports.
Especially since Luca doesn't want to be a Laker. He still doesn't want to be a Laker. Like he's going to be a free agent in like 2 years, so they're going to trade him next year. So,
I the only way he stays is if they bring in Jokic.
which the Nuggets aren't going to trade Jokic, especially since they just retooled this offseason.
So
They traded away Michael Porter Jr. and the first round pick to the Nets for Cam Johnson, which I don't really understand that trade too much because they're both pretty much the same player, except Porter Jr. is younger and is a better defender. And they also gave up a pick. So I don't know if it was just not a fit for them anymore and they just wanted someone who was probably the better shooter. Um,
they just rolled the dice and
yeah, I just think
switched it up.
Yeah, I think they attached the first round pick too to make sure because the Nets are taking on Porter Jr.'s contract, which is a little bit more than Cam Johnson's at this point. But which I like that trade a lot for the Nets. I mean, he immediately becomes their starting small forward, and he gets to finally be not necessarily the man, but now he has unlimited minutes to try to develop further as a player because he was very much a wingman in Denver when they won the championship, and that's fine. Um, but speaking of the NBA draft, with how the Mavericks somehow got the number one pick, the NBA totally isn't rigged whatsoever.
No, the cameras weren't set up because the Mavs didn't know that they were going to have the first overall pick, so they could get everyone's reaction on film, and Nico Harris could look like a genius.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. On the other side, the Nets had five first round picks in this draft, the most in NBA history for a single draft.
Massive, five first round
Five
picks.
first round picks, and they were just going think, think, think. Just when you draft five players, because no one thought they were going to draft all five players. A lot of people thought they were going to package it, try to move up to number two with the Spurs to get Ron Harper, go up to number three with Philadelphia, take on Paul George. Like there were a lot of conversations about that happening. They decided to just take five players and see who makes camp because they still have 14 other first round picks for the next 5 years.
Such a wild strategy.
It's the Oklahoma City Thunder strategy. That's
just
what the Thunder did. They just kept throwing darts.
hope something sticks to the wall and go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. I mean, a lot of the players that they took were overseas players. The eighth overall pick was Igor Damon from BYU. He played 1 year at BYU, even though he was originally played professionally in Russia. So I don't know how he was even allowed to play in BYU, but that's very interesting. Um, yeah, it was he. They picked big guards. They did pick one's wing, the kid out of North Carolina. Really excited about him. And they picked Danny Wolf, big man out of Michigan, stretch big. And they took like two or three other international guards who are all 6'8" and above and can pass the ball. The Nets are trying to create an identity of big, athletic, playmaking. Um, they want all their players to be able to pass the ball. Every single person that they drafted can pass the ball, can play make. None of them can really score. I think that comes later in the equation. I think they're just seeing who they can develop into a playmaker and see how good they can be. And again, Nets are still rebuilding after the failed 7-Eleven era with KD, Harden, and Kyrie. So they're still rebuilding, and it is what it is with them right now. Speaking of KD, he was traded to the Houston Rockets from the Phoenix Suns for a couple of picks and a couple of players, and the Rockets are now trying to go for it, which is great. KD always wanted to play for Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka was going to be the coach of the Brooklyn Nets when that whole scandal involving him and the Boston Celtics staffer was happening, and they were going to hire him, but they said you can't because of this stuff that's going on. And the 30 for 30 on the Nets KD era is going to be really torturous when I'm like 40. Um, but yeah, I mean, so the NBA's kind of been wild the last month or so. Lots happened, a lot of moving pieces, and
Yeah, a lot of turnover, and I think that creates like a whole vacuum of excitement in itself because it's just so unpredictable right
yeah,
now.
the NBA offseason is always more entertaining than the actual NBA season. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
if they could just fast forward, bam, right to the playoffs.
yeah, exactly. Who
And
actually makes it.
yeah, hold the lottery for that. Who makes the playoffs?
So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, the Knicks hired Mike Woodson as the new head coach after firing Tom Thibodeau, which, in my opinion, was the correct thing to do. I think Tom Thibodeau is a dinosaur. Um, Listen, he was a great coach to build a culture and to create a perennial playoff team. He has proven time and time again that he is not a championship level coach.
We hit on this the last time we potted
Yes.
that he does not make the proper adjustments,
No, he doesn't. He plays his starters, runs them
and
into the ground.
yeah, he has. This is the game plan from start to finish, regardless of what else is going on in the world, and there's a fire behind him, and whatever else, just blinders on. This is what we're set out to do,
Yeah.
and we're gonna see it through.
Yeah. He never played his bench, never changed lineups. It needed to happen. What wasn't good was their process afterwards. Their process afterwards involved asking permission to interview every team's already head coach in place.
No plan.
Yeah,
No plan.
there was no plan. I think that's the one negative a lot of Knicks fans are taking from it and the NBA world in general is there was no plan. They fired him and they tried to get Jason Kidd. They tried to get the Nuggets as head coach. They tried to get the Hawks as head coach. It's that and the NBA teams are like, why? This is what are you doing? Like
It's
this is
our
our head coach.
coach.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this
Like
is our coach.
who wait like the process of that was all right, we're not happy with our coach. He couldn't get it done. Fire him. All right, he's fired. On that one. What about Dallas? They Jason Kidd, he's a good head coach. Let's try to get him. Oh, they said no. But like what?
Yeah, it's very weird. And I mean, it's not like I don't like the hire of Mike Woodson. I do think Mike Woodson's a good coach, multiple coach of the year, has taken teams to the playoffs, and he's kind of a new age coach. He will make adjustments, he will hold players accountable. I mean, the only reason why he got fired in Sacramento is because he held De'Aaron Fox accountable. Fox didn't appreciate it. They fired the coach, and then Fox asked to be traded like a month later. So that's why the Kings are always bad, ladies and gentlemen. So
Kings haven't been good since Chris Webber and Peja Stojakovic and Vlade Divac and Doug Christie
they haven't been good
and
since
Mike Bibby. Yeah,
2004.
it's been a minute.
I mean, Mike Woodson and De'Aaron Fox were like slowly turning the Kings around. Like they went to the playoffs like 2 years ago, like very recently. And I don't, the Kings just stink. So I think Mike Woodson's a good hire. I just think the Knicks had no plan and they were like, oh, Mike Woodson's available, I guess. Let's see what he can do. Like he wasn't their first option. He wasn't even their fourth option. So like it is just a little bizarre that their search took that long, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the NBA has been. Not too many free agency signings because of this new CBA, and teams still don't really understand, and the players don't really understand what the first apron and second apron means. It's to pretty much make sure another big three never happens again. I mean, the KD, Harden, and Kyrie is the last big three we're ever really going to see in that fashion anyway, because of how the CBA is now built. It incentivizes teams to stay with, it incentivizes players to stay with the team that drafted them because they can make more money with the team that drafted them. They're trying to go back to, they're trying to get basketball to be like the 90s where no one switched teams. Everyone,
You just built it.
you just build it. Exactly. So, which is completely fine by me. Like, I understand what Adam Silver is trying to do, but can you not rig the NBA draft every year? Like, that would be really cool. So,
But that's the only constant in the NBA is the fact that every now and again, when there's a massive star and the NBA needs to push its narrative a certain way,
Yeah.
you damn well know that star is going to X team.
Yeah. They're either going to purple and gold or they're going to New York. So it is what it is. The NBA has been interesting. So with that being said, let's move on to baseball. We are coming up on the All-Star break here. The Yankees are in second place in the division. They have lost the first place to the Toronto Blue Jays, who are winners of 9 of their last 10 games. They're looking like the real threat here. I mean, the Rays are quietly at 50 wins as well. The Red Sox, they have too many injuries right now, and they just traded away Rafael Devers, so I don't really see them as a threat. And the Orioles completely stink. So,
The Orioles, man, like they were like the hottest, like they were on the rise, and then the bottom
100
just
games. They won 100 games last year
and the bottom just fell out.
because that team is run by idiots. They don't know what they're doing. So, um, yeah, I mean, the Yankees, I mean, trade deadline obviously is approaching, and Cashman, like usual, says, "Oh, we're going to get out there and we're going to spend everybody," and blah, 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 blah. He's always full of shit. And whenever he buys anyway, it's always bad. Only Jazz Chisholm is the only player that he's traded for
Dude,
the last 4 years
let's
actually
let,
good.
let's do a quick bow down to the fucking Jazz Chisholm, man. He's been a dog for
Yeah.
us.
And finally moved to second base, his primary position, because they didn't want to hurt DJ
Uh,
LeMahieu's feelings.
all right, listen. No, I refuse to have any DJ LeMahieu slander, but we will have a moment of silence for his tenure as a Yankee. Moment has passed. I will hold the
Fuck him.
2000. Oh, no, stop that. Stop that. If it
Bum.
was, no, no, stop. If it wasn't for Chapman throwing up a lollipop to Altuve, that 2019 game tying home run would be in the annals of time like the Boone home run against the Sox.
Well, too bad Jose Altuve was wearing a buzzer too.
Yeah,
So
all right. Well, all of that ruined that. And DJ's body is what let him down.
yeah, he got old and he's been old for 3 years. And the Yankees, because he was buddy buddy with Boone and Judge, I mean, he should have been let go 3 years ago. I mean, so he left this just horrible taste in Yankee fans' mouths because of how they handled this whole situation.
He got a lot of love, though, on the way out, though. When they DFA'd him, there was a lot of DJ appreciation posts,
There was a lot of DJ.
more so than I expected. And DJ for that period of time was probably one of my favorite Yankees just because of the way he played. But I mean, injuries piled up. He couldn't stay on the field. It time had passed him by, and everyone could see that. But I mean, when you're buddies with the almost 7 foot captain, has a little bit of pull.
Yeah, I mean, he was willing to lose the starting spot to just be a bench player, but they didn't want
Yeah,
him to be a bench player either. They're like, listen, your time is done. And
yeah.
he was
They essentially took him like the golf video of the Canadian guy getting yeeted across the golf course. That's
oh
what
yeah,
they did.
yeah, exactly. And he was apparently very upset. He was flipping furniture around in the dugout. They went to the nap room. He was flipping sofas in the nap room. It was not a good exit, but it was.
Good for him. You know what? I hope on the way out he grabbed Cashman by the throat and said, "I can kill you right now."
I mean, he should be thanking Cashman. He gave him that second contract. So they paid him.
No, oh,
They
no.
paid him
Listen,
another 66 million after he was no good no more.
no, 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 no. He got that contract after he had the massive 20 2020 season when he was like second in MVP voting, and they gave him that extension, and I thought he was going to get more, and they gave him, I think it was like 6 years, 90 million, and I was like, that was a great contract. I thought didn't age well because he got hurt, but
No, but money shouldn't matter anyway. It's the Yankees, but it does. So
money only matters with the Yankees when we're paying it to
yeah, whatever.
them.
Team is terrible. Anyway, Aaron Boone continues to be the worst manager the Yankees have had, and I don't really know how long. Continuously blowing games with his horrible bullpen decisions, his ridiculous decisions to continue to keep Jazz Chisholm at third base. Even when DJ LeMahieu wasn't in the lineup, they would throw Oswald Peraza at second base. Like this team just has no idea what it's doing ever with a lineup. When Jason Dominguez has a four-hit night, oh, he's sitting the next day. When Anthony Volpe's starting to get hot, four hit night about 2 weeks ago, he's sitting. Like
Yeah.
it makes no sense. There's no consistency with this lineup. I think that's why they're trying to trade for a third baseman so that there's consistency in this lineup. And speaking of Anthony Volpe, he needs to get off of this baseball team expeditiously. He is a bust. He is a bum. He is a 220 batter with a gold glove defense. He is not what everyone told us that he was going to be. They should have traded him. And they should have signed Corey Seager. And they should have signed Carlos Correa. And they should have signed, I could go on and on and on and on. But he has not worked out. I don't care that he hit a grand slam in the World Series last year. He is not a good shortstop. He's just not a good big league shortstop. And we have the sample size large enough now where he just needs to go. He needs to go. I don't care how you get rid of him. I don't care if the grandma at my local ShopRite is the new shortstop. I don't care.
How is the grandma at the local shop right going to her right? Does she have a good arm?
Yeah. Will she bobble routine double plays?
Yeah, I think with Volpe, I think his issues at the plate have completely spilled over and polluted his head, where now his defense, which was the bright spot, is now effectively suffering. Now, I will give him the 1 day pass for that beautiful slide into home plate last night to avoid the tag by
Bellinger homered again. 3-run home runs. Breaking news. Yankees are winning 10-0 against the Cubs.
bang. That's 3 homers by Belly. Should have been 4, but got robbed. Wow.
Six RBIs.
What a massive day for Belly.
Single Yankee has a hit except for Aaron Judge. So typical. Judge has 2 hits.
Listen, Judge is crushing the intentional walks this year. So
Whatever. Anyway.
you're so cynical. I love it.
How am I supposed to be positive at all ever with this team? This team is never any good. The guy that helped bring him to the World Series plays for the Mets.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
He probably will be back when he's 30, which is fine. But can we win before then? Because by the time he comes back when he's 30, Judge will be 37, 38. So it's not going to matter. So it doesn't matter when he comes back.
Barry Bonds was fucking hitting bombs until he was 39?
Whatever. He was also juicing out of his mind. He looked like
all right. Well, Aaron Judge is just juiced naturally.
Yeah, he's just
all right. Can we talk about his season right now?
What? He's the greatest right-handed hitter ever, or
of all time?
Probably the greatest right-handed power hitter ever.
We are blessed to be able to view what he does on a day-to-day. The fact that he was batting over 400 for as long as he was with the power that he was producing is just insane. He's batting 360 right now.
Yeah, in July.
in July.
and there's only 2 home runs shy of the league lead right now.
And there's people that are in this sphere of breathing that we are doing right now that think that Cal Raleigh is the leader for the MVP in the American League.
I mean, that's just silly. I mean, you just look at the numbers. I mean, they're not. It's not even close.
Not
I don't care that he's a catcher. Okay, great. He's a platinum catcher. I get it. Catcher's a really hard position to play. But Aaron Judge is a platinum right fielder. So what's the
yeah.
he's
Aaron
batting.
Judge is a diamond.
Yeah.
He is a diamond.
Yeah. Aaron Judge's batting average is 100 points higher.
And he's 2 home runs below. Like,
And
stop.
he
Like,
has 80 RBIs before the All-Star break. Give me a break. He has a 6.6 WAR to Kyle Rowley's 4.6 WAR. He leads him in every statistical offensive category except for home runs. This is
and
not.
he will. And he will.
Yeah, this isn't a
Aaron Judge is going to be the Triple Crown this year.
Yeah, he's going to win his third MVP. He should have four. He should have won MVP as a rookie, but they robbed him of that too. So,
Greatest, like, generational one of one.
yeah, generational player. I
And
mean,
he didn't start until he was what?
24.
I think older.
He
Like,
was like 25. Yeah, he was like 25 his rookie year.
insane.
Yeah. He has more home runs in his career than Bryce Harper.
I believe right now, as it stands, I think he just hit or he's like 2 home runs shy of being fourth on the Yankees all-time home run list.
Yeah, which is
What?
insane. And
What?
he's been on the Yankees for 8 years, and he missed one whole season,
Yeah, that all right.
half a season.
Half a season, and he probably would have hit 70 home runs that year.
Yeah, he's the greatest player on earth. When I read that he passed Bryce Harper in career home runs, I was like, what?
Bryce Harper's been playing since he was like 20.
Yeah, he got called up at 19 years old,
Yeah.
and he's 30 now, and he has less home runs than Aaron Judge is in. And Aaron Judge got called up at 25. It's incredible. I mean, I understand Bryce Harper. The last 2 years, he's not an all-star, injury bug, still a great postseason player. But last 2 years haven't really been great in Bryce Harper land. But it is what it is. But the Yankees, if they waste this guy's prime, man, like if they don't win at least one with this guy.
He's, I don't want him to be the Dan Marino of baseball.
But listen, Barry Bonds never won one. The Giants could never put a team around him. And
And the year they did, they got beat by the Angels.
Yeah, and I'm just afraid that that's what's happening right now with the Yankees. And
All right. So if Brian Cashman we throw him, we yeet him like the Canadian hockey player yeeted that drunk guy on the golf course. And Zach Barba, you are the Yankees general manager. Trade deadline coming. Give me 2 moves that you're making.
the first move that I'm making is I'm calling up the Arizona Diamondbacks and getting Eugenio Suarez as my third baseman for the rest of the year. I understand he's 33 years old. I understand he's a 1-year rental. If we re-sign him, it will only be short term. But he has 30 home runs before the All-Star break. He's one of the best third basemen in baseball right now. And you know what? I don't really care about age because Paul Goldschmidt, who got snubbed of an All-Star, by the way, at 38, is having a hell of a year for the Yankees at first base. So these 1-year deals can work out. But
I would like to apologize because I give a little shade towards Paul Goldschmidt in the beginning because I was like, this guy's old as shit too. Like, why We're better off with Mike. Might as well just have Anthony Rizzo.
who is out of the league, by the way.
And you know what? I take that back. I apologize. Paul Goldschmidt. I should have known. Gold in front of Schmidt. It was just
You should have known.
I should have known. And also shout out to Clark Schmidt.
Tommy,
Thoughts and TJ again for a second time. We'll see you at the end of next year, hopefully.
yeah, we'll see. But the Yankees All-Stars this year are Jazz Chisholm, who also is going to be in the home run derby. Aaron Judge, of course, Max Fried, who's been one of the best pitchers in baseball so far. What a great signing he's been for the Yankees. Everyone,
Max Fried is out now,
yeah,
so they swapped with our boy
Carlos
Carlos Rodon.
Rodon. Is he
Who
hurt
got
or is he just? He's gonna
his
start.
cycle?
Yeah, his cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's four All-Stars for the Yankees this year, even though they're hot garbage. Um, But yeah, my first move is try to get a package of Eugenio Suarez and Zach Gallen from the Diamondbacks, who should be sellers. Give them Spencer Jones and give them a couple other players because the outfield's crowded right now for the Yankees. Aaron Judge is in right, Dominguez in left, who is playing very well, batting 270. His defense needs work, but he's still really young himself.
running the base paths like an animal too.
He is very fast. Really like Jason Dominguez this year. Can't complain about him. And Bellinger has been amazing for the Yankees. He's only 28. They should re-sign him. He should be the top priority. Re-sign him immediately. I mean, I would re-sign him at the All-Star break. I'd be like, listen, like,
Yeah,
here's a 5-year deal. You're
yeah.
20.
You just hit 3 home runs tonight. Congratulations. You are. We're giving you the money that we gave Aaron Hicks. Like if we sign Aaron Hicks to stupid contract, we could certainly sign Cody Bellinger to a deal.
He's only 28. He's
Yeah.
like another 4 years of his prime. Like,
Uh,
give him a
listen,
5-year, $200 million deal and call it a day. Easy.
oh, I'll swipe the card.
Yeah,
Like
I'll swipe the card too. He's
we
amazing.
we signed Hicks to like a friggin' 7-year deal for one diving catch he made in the outfield against the Tampa Bay Rays. Like we can sign Bellinger.
Yes. Yes. So the Yankee outfield is really, really good right now. Can't really complain about that. What I can complain is we need pitching. And losing Clark Schmidt hurts. I know Max Fried's been awesome. I know Rodon's been awesome this year for the Yankees. Losing Garrett Cole was gigantic. They need another starter. That's why I'm big on getting Zach Gallen along with Eugenio Suarez. My second move would be to get a reliever. Try to find a reliever somewhere. Go to one of these teams that are selling and get a solid bullpen help. And I understand Emmanuel Clace might be available if the Guardians decide to sell. I don't think the Guardians would trade anything to the Yankees unless it's like, for George Lombard Jr. or something like that. But for the right price, everybody's for sale. But I mean, the Guardians just played the Yankees in the ALCS. I don't think that's happening. But those should be that should be the priority. That should be the main priority if I was in charge of the Yankees. And then the next move, honestly, the third move during the All-Star break is fire Aaron Boone. I mean, that's really what the next move should be. You want to win the World Series, you fire Aaron Boone.
Imagine nuking Aaron Boone. Like
It's going to be the greatest day in Yankee history.
right now, the big swerve is Aaron Judge comes back. Hey, Booney. And DJ LeMahieu walks back in and just chokes out Boone and goes, I'm the head coach now. But no, David Cohn should be the head coach of the New York Yankees. I've been saying this for years,
Yeah.
months,
I,
days.
I want the mourning dove outside my apartment as the manager of the Yankees because I'm tired of Boone just being awful. I'm tired of it.
Like Coney, he's a player's coach, and he knows the analytics. He knows how to balance both. And that's something that Boone can't do.
No.
Boone relies on some nerd on a computer to tell him the analytics. David Cohn is doing the analytics in his brain. That's David Cohn.
Yeah.
Um,
Brilliant
like you
baseball mind.
like you said, just Boone doesn't know how to manage a lineup. It's Dominguez 4 hits. All right, you sit. Like those types of things. Nobody is allowed to get into a rhythm.
Yeah. That's why the Yankees are so inconsistent in June and July because they change the lineup every game based off of what the computers say against these particular pitchers and this particular matchup and this particular ballpark with this particular wind speed and this particular sun. Like it's baseball is still the most human element in everything. So the human element matters. Like if some guy's getting hot, I don't care if he doesn't bat well against left-handed hitters.
Ride it out.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, Bellinger's sitting tomorrow.
Oh, with 3 home runs, he's not playing tomorrow. How much you want to bet? Like I get
like
he's the everyday center fielder. Like I understand. I actually don't know how much Bellinger is actually sat. I don't think he's really sat at all. But yeah, I mean, watch him not play tomorrow.
yeah,
Oh,
we
he's
gotta.
gonna get the day off.
Yeah,
Yeah, Booty tonight.
you earned it, bud.
Yeah, Booty tonight. Hey, we're gonna give this guy a break.
Right now,
Carry
Boone
us
is
tonight.
baking up the biggest tray of chocolate chip cookies and milk, and he's gonna roll out his cart. All right, who wants chocolate milk? Like,
It's just a nightmare.
give me a break. And it, I still, this all boils up to the top, right? So, like,
Ashman sucks. He needs to go.
but beyond that, it goes up higher than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, if the Yankee fan base was honest with ourselves, and most of us are honest, and most of us are pretty much pessimistic all the time, is Hal needs to sell the team. I
Well,
mean,
and
that
this is coming from the most positive person when it comes to the Yankees. Again, I say this every single time we talk about the Yankees. George Steinbrenner, the boss, valued winning above everything, everything. And Hal values
the bottom line.
the dollars in the cents above everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost repulsive with how I mean, listen, Rob Manfred is pushing for a salary cap. There's going to be a salary cap in baseball at the next CBA. Enjoy this while it lasts. The fact that the owner of the New York Yankees wants there to be a salary cap so he doesn't have to worry about spending too much money is a disgrace. And
Disgusting.
that's why the Yankees need to somehow win a championship before this salary cap kicks in, because as soon as it does, we're never winning ever again. I'm just putting it out there right now. I still don't think listen, I said this last year, even when we were in the World Series, because Boone blew game 1, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of that series. As long as Aaron Boone's the manager, we're never going to win. So like we can keep our hopes up as much as we want, but as soon as if we do get back to the World Series and the computer goes, hey, Cody Bellinger can't hit well against left-handed hitters, so he's not going to play today. In like, game 3 of the World Series. Like it just can't happen. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should bring in a starter who hasn't pitched in 3 months to get one of the best first basemen out in a huge spot with the bases loaded. Instead of the reliever who has a 2.50 ERA up to that point. Like it's still the worst
The
decision.
lefty specialist,
Yeah.
mind you.
Yeah, it's still the worst decision in World Series history, and the fact that he even came back after that is insane. I don't care that he took us to the World Series. That's a
Bold prediction.
terrible
Bold
effect.
prediction. If we do not win the World Series this year,
He's gone.
gone.
Yeah, he will because he'll be the scapegoat because Cashman will stay and they'll say, oh, well, we need a new voice in here, and I thought we had enough pieces, and that just he lost the locker room. Just we'll hear a bunch of bullshit
They'll
excuses.
spin it. They'll
Yeah,
spin it.
he'll be the scapegoat. He'll be the first one to go if they don't win.
And then whoever they put as the manager, that'll be the tell of
Who runs the team?
what the outlook of the Yankees will be.
Yeah, well, we'll know who really runs the team, and we'll know who, like we'll know if we really are the Cowboys of baseball, because the Cowboys are never going to win because Jerry Jones is still the owner. So it's just one of those situations. So
The worst.
yeah, it's the worst. So yeah, I mean,
But if I'm gonna throw my GM hat on right now, and whatever you have to do to go get Paul Skeens, do it.
oh
I,
man.
I'm talking Spencer Jones, Lombard Jr.
Oh, I don't care who goes.
Send them all. Send them all, and I'll drive them to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's at 24 years old, already a top three pitcher in baseball. I
He's
mean,
going to win the Cy Young with more losses than wins, and it's not even a debate.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's the best pitcher
dog.
in not only the NL, but maybe all of baseball. I mean, he's that good. His last 45, like, look at all his starts combined. Like, his career ERA is already at like 2.1. Like, it's already,
Electric.
yeah,
Electric stuff.
yeah, he's a generational pitcher with like 5 more years because they drafted him last year or
Yeah.
2 years ago. So he has team control for like the next 6 years. So I don't care what you have to trade. If
Whatever you have to
Yeah.
do.
If he is available at this trade deadline, you
Yeah.
give them everything.
And you know what? We talked about how crazy it would be. Like, you think about that. Like, he has 6 years of team control, right? But there also is this element for the Pittsburgh Pirates that his stock is probably the highest it's going to be, right?
Yes.
Because he's young, his has a live arm, and he has all that team control still built into the back of it. So Pittsburgh knows that they're not re-signing him.
If they want to just have him be here for 6 years, I mean, every
Yeah,
pitcher eventually is going to need Tommy John. When is he going to need Tommy John? And if he does, that's 2 years of that 6 years of control. Like if you're gonna trade him and blow it all up, I mean, the Pirates are never good anyway. But if
but
you
they're never gonna, like, when he's actually a free agent. I'm
they're not
saying
going to pay him, so they're going to
they're
trade him anyway.
exactly. So the thought behind that is really, like, it's really not that crazy if they traded him at his peak to get like the absolute most value that you can possibly get for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if yes, send Spencer Jones, send George Lombard. I mean, send 4 or 5 of the Yankees' top 5 prospects. And you know what? It still won't be equal value. But whatever trade is, if that transaction gets completed, whoever trades for him wins the trade because there is no equal value for Paul Skeens. There just is not.
No,
So I'm totally fine with it. If that happens, that would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen because I think the Pirates owner is I think what's happening is a lot of these small market teams are anxiously awaiting this salary cap to be instituted into the new CBA after the 2026 season. This way they could build their small market teams. And I think that's why they're not going to trade Paul Skeens because they're just going to try to hold on. But if they get offered with, hey, your system could be, or hey, you're going to have a new right fielder and a new third baseman.
a new right fielder, third baseman. Oh, we'll give you Luis Gil too, who was a rookie of the year last year. Like,
Yeah, who's coming off of an injury himself, but yeah, there's
that's three starters that are just plugged into your
yeah, plugged into your team right away. So
Like,
listen, if it happens, it's probably the biggest trade of the modern era because of who the player is, the caliber of them, and the teams that are doing it. But
yeah,
again,
that would go down. The next trade would be us trading for Alex Rodriguez.
yeah, yeah, the A-Rod trade would be the only thing that comes close, in my opinion. But we'll see. And there's a lot of baseball still to be played until the trade deadline here in a couple weeks. But I don't know. I think during this All-Star break, the Yankees should get on the phone and they should set the tone, set the market. They're always afraid. They always wait for someone else to make a move. If you could set the market, when you set the market, that is you're making the price. It's always going to be the lowest price because as soon as a team sees, oh, well, this guy got traded for this,
It's
which
going to go.
which means we could get this guy for this, and we could tell these teams that we want this. Like, be the first team to do it. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Get the guys in here. Send that package over for Gallon and Eugenio Suarez, and then we're good to go. But they never want to do that because they don't want to win. They just want to make money. So they could tell you that they want to win all you want. They'll lie to you right to your face and sell you that $18 churro ice cream cup. But
Listen, that 50th anniversary Jaws milkshake looked phenomenal.
it really did. Speaking of dogs, we have the 50th anniversary pop collection that's here. She got the 50th anniversary vinyl for Jaws, and we're going to watch the 50th anniversary documentary on Disney Plus this evening, more than likely. So,
Boom, right there. Jaws,
boom.
great, great movie in America cinema.
It's, in my opinion, the greatest horror movie of all time. Want to know why? Because it's real and it happens every year.
It is real.
It is real.
It is
That's
real.
why. But yeah, I think that's what the Yankees need to do. We're at the halfway point here. They just smoked the Cubs 11-0. Good Lord. Really, really disgusting work by them.
We're back, baby.
Again, it's the inconsistencies. They get swept in Toronto and now they play the Mariners and Cubs and they look like world beaters again. Like it doesn't make any sense. So we'll see. We have training camp for the NFL very soon, couple weeks, which means the top 32 quarterback rankings episode will be back.
QB rankings,
The
baby.
QB rankings, my personal favorite episode of the year. That'll probably be very, very soon, maybe in a couple weeks, because I know training camp is the end of July for most teams. I think like the 25th. I think the Giants report July 27th. I think the Jets report July 24th. So definitely getting close.
I think we get. I'm pretty sure there's like a preseason football game at the end of July. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
July 31st. There is the preseason game. So football is back this month. Very
It's
technical.
around. It. Hey, remember me? Dun 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 dun.
But since that has happened, since the draft, since our last episode, OTAs have happened, mini camp has happened, every mandatory OTAs, rookie mini camp, all the other possible official team activities have concluded. So we are ready for training camp. And I think what would be cool to kind of wrap up this episode here is to talk a little bit about what is the most exciting part of the Giants train camps so far and the Raiders camp so far. All the buzz out of Giants camp obviously is Jackson Dart, how he is vastly different than Daniel Jones. Not only personality wise, but arm talent wise, and how he's connecting with the players, how smart he is, uh, and how easy he's been able to pick up information. I know that we shouldn't take any stock whatsoever in quarterbacks in shorts, But if we're comparing quarterbacks in shorts, he was their best quarterback throughout camp. With the only Giants beat writer that I trust, Jordan Renan, shout out Jordan Renan, and Connor Hughes. I like Connor Hughes. He does both Jets, Giants. He's good too. He moved up on the depth chart. He was supposed to be QB3. He was not supposed to even touch the field. He is now officially above Jameis Winston on the quarterback depth chart. He is now the backup. Russell Wilson will remain the starter, who has looked solid. You know, Russell had a decent year in Pittsburgh. You know, I don't really care what anybody says. He looked pretty damn good in Pittsburgh. He had a 95 quarterback rating. And it wasn't his fault that they lost that playoff game. I think they have a bad coaching staff. And I know that's a hot take, but especially with Arthur Smith, I think he's a horrible coach. But um, the other major news is obviously Andrew Thomas. He may not be ready week 1. They're hoping maybe week 4, which is not exactly great. We need our all pro left tackle. Evan Neal switched to guard. He's been decent apparently at guard so far. Who would have fucking thought? Amazing. But the other player that's garnering a lot of attention, kind of a relative unknown until this point, Thomas Fedone. I don't know if anyone knows the name Thomas Fedone, but he is their 7th round rookie. He was invited to Travis Kelce's tight end university, and Travis Kelce was singing this kid's praises. He said, "This dude is a beast," and he is a beast. 6'6", 250, moves like a cat. And he was the #1 ranked tight end prospect coming out of high school. Did not have a great college career for whatever reason. But now all of a sudden, you have both Theo Johnson and Fedone as these big monster tight ends who can run you out of the gym, run you off the field, whatever the saying is. And now Daniel Bellinger all of a sudden is the odd man out on the tight end depth chart. So, I mean, if he is even getting, if Fedone even sees the field as a starter, I mean, that's a slam dunk pick as a 7th round pick. So, and of course, that defensive line. Abdul
Oof.
Carter,
Oh,
Abdul Carter is as advertised. And a healthy Dexter Lawrence, a healthy Kayvon, a healthy Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter.
wreckers.
I mean,
Wreckers.
listen, I'm not saying the Giants are going to win the division or anything. I'm not saying they're going to even go to the playoffs. I'm just saying no one's going to want to play them. And I understand that their schedule is really, really rough, but I don't know what quarterback with any offensive line besides maybe the Lions and maybe the Chargers and of course the Eagles that wants to go up against that front four. Y'all can have fun because the only thing that is the great equalizer to a great quarterback is a great defensive line. So we'll see what happens.
Are
I
you saying are you saying there's hope?
I listen. I'm saying there's hope. I'm saying there's hope for 6 wins, maybe 7 wins. I'm saying there's hope for respectable football. I do believe Jackson Dart will eventually play this year, but if it were up to me, sit him the whole year. But Russell Wilson is eventually going to get hurt. We don't know when he's going to get hurt. I hope he gets hurt, not hope, but if he does get hurt, if he does get hurt,
Clip it right now.
I,
Clip the,
I
I
hope
hope he
I hope
gets
it's like
hurt.
week 7 or week 8. This way, Dart's sat for a while at least. But we might see Dart sooner than later because maybe that will depend on how hot Brian Dable's seat is. It could depend on how hot Joe Shane's seat is. We'll
What
see
are the odds
where it's
of
going.
Dart beating out Russell Wilson clear out of camp?
I would be very surprised
Okay.
if he flat out beats it. If he beats him out, that would be wild because Dable has been ever since they drafted him. They're like, we have a plan for him. We had a plan with Josh in Buffalo. They wanted Josh to sit for half the year, but they couldn't have him sit because for whatever reason, the guy that was sitting in front of him was Nathan Peterman.
Ugh.
This is a little different. Yeah, Russell Wilson's 37. He's not the Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Russell Wilson 37 is way better than Nathan Peterman on any day.
But Russell Wilson at 37 is the best quarterback the Giants have had in the last 6 years. So
Facts.
listen, and
Facts.
Russell Wilson just took a team to the playoffs, by the way. So, and now he's got Malik Neighbors to throw to. He's got Darius Slayton to throw to, these two tight ends, Tyrone Tracy, Cam Scatabo. Giants might be an exciting team.
They're a
Just
sleeper. They're a dark horse.
I think they should be considered a sleeper team in the NFC just because of that defensive line. Because when your defensive line is that good, that takes so much pressure off your linebackers, which they have good linebackers too, which everyone forgets. They have Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden. And they have a revamped secondary with Javon Hollins and Paulson Adebo. So I don't know. The Giants have something going right now. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but I'm just saying no one's going to want to play this team if they're playing to their potential. I think they could be one of those teams where, they steal a couple of wins, like say, like the home game against the Chiefs. How good are the Chiefs going to be this year as compared to last year? Because that team last year was terrible, and I don't know how they made the Super Bowl. How much better did the Chiefs really get this offseason? How much better is that offensive line this offseason? They lost because that Eagles pass rush destroyed Patrick Mahomes.
Dominated them. Dominated them.
And right now, the Giants pass rush, it's probably right up there now. So that might be a statement game. That first home game against the team that just went to the Super Bowl. We'll see. That's what I got to say for the Giants right before training camp.
Listen,
Hmm.
from your mouth with there's some hope.
There's some hope. It's there.
We'll go take the jet out to Las Vegas because
Yep.
just when I thought I was out,
They pull you back in.
pull me back in, and I got hope, baby. And I have hope for two reasons, maybe three. One, Pete Carroll.
Yes.
Finally, a head coach that is a head coach. I said it when they had McDaniel in that it was a gamble, and it was a gamble that lost, and he set that team back. And then they went with Antonio Pierce because of the fact that he had the locker room, and the last time we let an interim coach go, it was the wrong move. And Antonio Pierce is not, like we talked about Aaron Boone not being able to set a lineup or manage a game. AP was a motivator, but he wasn't an X's and O's guy. And that showed greatly. Number two, we have a quarterback.
Yes.
Geno Smith, most accurate quarterback in the league last year. Pair that up with Brock Bowers, who smashed rookie records with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell as his quarterback. It's a year without Devontae Adams and all that drama. You have Jacoby Myers, which Jacoby Myers is probably, in my opinion, the most underrated wide receiver in the league.
Probably.
And a lot of people sleep on him being a number one. I think he's a number one when you have an option like Brock Bowers to pair that up, and then adding in what should be a legitimate running back in Ashton Genty. That's some hope right there. I listen.
I think the Raiders should be considered a sleeper team in the AFC.
Bold prediction from this guy: we're winning the AFC West.
I love the confidence.
That's right.
I if you had a gun to my head right now for who wins the AFC West, it's probably the Chargers because
Probably.
what Harbaugh has done for that team already.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, year two with the team, and they added a running back.
Yeah.
I I mean, yeah, you would have to think. And I mean, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. I mean, we just said that they got their asses handed to them in the Super Bowl, and there's a lot of question marks around them, but it's still Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, like how much better did the Chiefs really get this offseason?
That's
Like
what I'm saying. The margin, I think,
is smaller.
it's tight on for every single team in the West. I think AFC West, I, I'm gonna say, is probably the toughest division in football.
Probably. I mean, I agree. I think the Raiders can make some noise. I think the Raiders are in a very similar position that the Giants are in. I think they should be a sleeper team. They both have these renewed strengths. Like now the Raiders may have a potent offense.
Yeah,
Now the Giants may have one of the best defensive lines in football. Like they both now have these classic, like when you think of Raiders, you think of Ken Stabler.
yeah,
You think of, slinging the ball. That's Raider football. Now you got Geno Smith, Ashton Genty. You think of Bo Jackson running the ball. So that's what I'm getting with this Raiders offseason right now. When you think of Giants football, when you think of Giants football, you think
Michael
sack,
Strahan and
Michael
fucking
Strahan, um,
Lawrence Taylor,
Lawrence Taylor, you think sacked quarterback, sacked quarterback, sacked quarterback, sacked quarterback.
smash them.
Worry about offense later. Smash mouth football, run the ball, play action. It
Yeah,
looks like the NFL, because I was talking about this with Dan a few days ago. Like, I mean, yeah, it was a few days ago or about a week ago or whatever. The days are molding in together. The NFL is like reverting back to like classic old school football.
sure.
And
Look at running backs in general. Like
yeah,
running running backs, we went from a period where running backs where you had bell cow running backs, and then it went to you could thank Le'Veon Bell for setting running backs back where it was me and you could be a running back in the NFL,
you get paid a lot.
and well they'll make do with us. But now you're going back to like you're having these star running backs now that are going to carry the load for these teams.
Yeah. Now we're going back to the running back as a very valuable position. Saquon for the Eagles, Ashton Genty for the Raiders, um,
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry for the Ravens. Even at 30, Derrick Henry's still a beast. The two running backs in Detroit, you know,
Yep.
like, that's why the Giants went and got Scatabo. They wanted Scatabo with Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy shown promise last year as a decent ball carrier. Needs to hold on to the ball, needs to not effing fumble. But
Yeah.
seems
Bijan
like
Robinson. Yeah. It just,
yeah, Bijan Robinson, like we're seeing this shift to like 1990s, 1980s, like classic football. Passing stats are going to start going down. Um, it's very interesting. We're seeing a lot of these teams try to go back to their old identities of what won them games. So it's very, very interesting. So I think, like I said, I think the Raiders are a sleeper team possibly as well. Um, I do not think they come last in their division this year. I think they do come in either second or third place in the division. And I think they push for a spot in the playoffs. I don't get there yet. I think they get around 8 wins. Um, yeah, that's what I think the Raiders could possibly do.
Listen, my man Pete Carroll said, "We ain't here for a rebuild. We don't got time for that.
Listen, we don't got time. Time.
We don't got
So
time for that."
what do you think now that we've given our opinions on our teams and I've given an opinion on the Raiders to end this night? What do you think the Giants are going to do as we enter training camp here?
I mean, I it's all going to come down to quarterback play for you guys. Like you said, the defensive line is going to be the cornerstone of your team, and it's going to keep the Giants in games, and it's going to win them some games. Um, the turnaround is going to be what are you going to get from Russell Wilson and the consistency, and you're going to look for Malik Neighbors to hit that next tier because awesome rookie year, but what does he do in year two to get to that? Is Malik Neighbors going to be that elite status and get into the echelon of the Justin Jeffersons or the Jamar Chases?
Yeah.
Like
At,
you want
at
to
21 years old.
you want to see him hit that next level. I definitely see the Giants hitting middle of the road. I could see them in the 8-win territory.
Even
You're
with that schedule?
even with that schedule, because that's how much I view that defensive line. If they stay healthy,
Yeah. I mean, that defense line is going to steal 2 games.
I I think the opportunity is there. Your division is right up there with the AFC West. I feel
Different,
like
different division winner every year.
so. I mean, the Eagles underachieved most of the year, but quietly they were consistent and then just demolished people in the playoffs. Um,
I think Washington overachieved.
I do. I think I could see a regression with Washington.
Yeah, it's year two. It's you could see a sophomore slump with
You'll
Jaden.
see. You'll see what Jaden Daniels is. Is he going to be C.J. Stroud or is he going to be a Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think my hot take right before you finish, they don't come in last in the division.
Fair. I mean, I said they can win 8 games, and I agree with that. But I also, in the back of my head, don't sleep on the Cowboys. Dak is Dak is healthy. They added another the wide receiver from Pittsburgh.
George Pickens, yeah,
As,
we'll see how that turns out.
as long as he's, I
See.
mean, he's a head case, but
Yeah, we'll see about all that with a rookie head coach who isn't any better than the coach they just let.
well, yeah, no, the coach absolutely not. But on paper, that trio of Dak, CD, and Pickens should put up some numbers, and we'll see
They
what
probably
that gets
will.
them.
Dak always puts up numbers. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but who's running the ball?
All right, well, Rico Dowdle, man.
He's not there no more.
Oh no, he's over in
He's in
he's in
Carolina.
Carolina. Never
Yeah,
mind.
who's running the ball? Me? You?
Not in this NFL.
Yeah, I listen. I think Dak Prescott is still probably a top 10 quarterback in this league, and he is healthy and he's slimmed down and he's trying to not get hurt as much. But I mean, Zach Martin just retired, like one of the best guards ever just retired. They have a rookie head coach because they swung and missed on every other coaching hire that they wanted. And he's no better than the last one, and probably not any better than Mike McCarthy. They added George Pickens, who it could work out as the number two, but that dude is a head case. Like
He can
he can
easily pull an Antonio Brown.
yeah, he can
And
sink your whole locker room if the head
yeah,
coach isn't strong. And he almost sunk the Steelers locker room, and Mike Tomlin's the head coach. So now you think this rookie head coach who was an offensive coordinator or senior coordinator, whatever, for Mike McCarthy, you think he's going to handle this guy? Or he's like, you know what? Maybe Dak could just handle him. Maybe CD can just handle him. And who's running the ball? And who is that secondary going to be healthy? That secondary was ravaged by injuries last year. Is Micah Parsons going to stay a Cowboy? I
A
just
lot of
think there's
question mark.
more. I think there's more questions on Dallas than any other team really. I mean, there's questions with every team in the East. There's questions with the Giants, there's questions with Washington, but I think there's plenty of questions in Dallas too. I don't think they got much better this offseason. Like I don't think Washington got that much better this offseason. Yeah, I mean they added Debo, but Debo can't
It
stay healthy.
it gets closer.
I think the gap between the Giants and the Cowboys is closer than it's been in years. I mean, I get it. Dak always murders the Giants, and they'll probably lose to the Giants. I'm sure we'll lose to the Cowboys all the time, but looking at the teams purely on paper here, because we can't see what they're doing yet, on paper, the talent level isn't that much different.
Not far apart.
It's really not that far apart. And the talent level between the Dallas Cowboys and the Giants and Washington as a whole trio really isn't that much different. I mean, Washington, both listen, Jaden Daniels, we think is great, right? We think he's great. Does he have that sophomore slump like CJ Stroud does? Does Debo really make that much of a difference? They still can't seem to pay Scary Terry, and he's getting pissed off. Are
I
they gonna
think
have to
Scary
trade him?
Terry will be gone.
Yeah, so do you trade your best wide receiver because you can't pay him right before training camp starts? That's not a good look. They have a great coach in Dan Quinn, so I don't know. I think the NFC East could be a slugfest. I think the Eagles are still the clear favorites after winning the Super Bowl and bringing everybody back.
Sure.
And I think that they're going to be the only constant, but no team has won the division 2 years in a row since 2005. So it's crazy to think that the math and the history is telling us the Eagles will not win the division this year.
Wild.
It's wild. So who wins the division? Is it Washington or is it Dallas? You know, or do the Giants go worst to first?
Who knows?
Who knows? That's the beauty of football. And that's why we do things like this.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Listen, we are approaching rapidly.
Yes, we are approaching rapidly. I'm very, very happy that we got back to making an episode. And this was a long one, too. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Listen,
we had a lot of stuff going on. We need to shout out the new members of the Dog Talk Sports family. We need to shout out Eli and Hudson.
boom. Right
Pete
there. That's
and
right.
Pete and Dan of Dog Talk Sports became fathers over the last month and a half.
Call this Dad Talk Sports.
This is
Arr, arr,
this is
arr.
now Dad Talk Sports. I'm the odd man out here. I
Yeah,
had to
listen,
go off
we're cultivating the next lineup of
sufferer.
sport sufferers and sports analysts. I mean, yeah, I mean, last time we potted, uh, end of May, I 3 weeks, 2 weeks later, bam, Hudson is in the world. Already shouted out by the New York Yankees on the Yes Network because
Yeah, that's right.
we always got to post
Oh,
our.
well, you know what? I apologize. I apologize. Eli turned 3 months old yesterday or today. So Eli was here with us
He was here.
last podcast. So I apologize. I apologize. Still, we're gonna
Yeah, let's
shout it all out.
listen.
All the love.
But yeah, we are. Hudson is going to be a 1 month old on Sunday. So
Love to see it.
shout out to my little man. Shout out to my wife for helping me keep him alive for a month. We're doing the damn thing. We're in the trenches.
We're in the trenches.
We're in the trenches. We're in the thick of it. Sleep is at a minimum, but listen, when a pod is available to get to, we'll get on it. Maybe next time I'll wear Hudson so he can make his debut and pick out his quarterback of 2025.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
But yeah, listen, quarterback rankings next.
Yep, quarterback rankings next.
I'm here for it. Let's get it.
Agreed.
Hopefully we can get a full house in. Get
Yes.
got to get the Danimal back on. It's been ages since he was on. Ray Tremor, we're putting out an all points bulletin for him. Get him out here.
And
We're
we need we'll get the other co-founder. We'll get Mr. Gold on here for that. He always does that one.
Yeah, we'll get him on there, and we'll see where the rankings lie. I feel like this year of all years is going to be. I think it's going to be different all around. Usually, there's a lot of parity in our lists, but I feel like this year could be.
I
You
think this
go,
year
you
our
go.
lists are going to be similar.
Think so? Because I feel like this year, the top of the list. I mean, it'll be the same names, but I think the order of which we put them might be different.
Yes. Yes. I'm very interested to see where we all put Jalen Hurts. So
We'll see. I mean, he was not in my top 10
listen, we'll see where
this
he
past
sits.
year.
We'll see. Because he's the most controversial in terms of ranking
Yeah,
quarter.
he's probably the most polarizing out of.
Which understandable, when you have a Hall of Fame supporting cast, it's hard to see if you're any good. But when his statistics with that Hall of Fame team weren't as good as Caleb Williams last year, passing, it's a
Listen, I had Brock Purdy in my top three, I think, last year, and
yeah, that was
that that was incredible. I also had CJ Stroud up there too.
yeah,
That
no, he's going
that
down this year. Oh boy.
that that was also incorrect. So yeah, we'll see.
All right. We'll call it a night here. Thank you, everybody, for coming back, welcoming back,
Yeah,
watch,
thank you for the love, support, watching, subscribing, comment.
comment,
Yeah,
share.
share, do whatever you got to do. Get the word of mouth out because the dogs are back and we're barking.
Peace out, everybody.